서울대학교 언어교육원 나는 한국어 잘해요. 라라라라라라라.
Being a Korean language student in Korea was probably the best experience of my life, and I'm trying everything I can to go back because I'm still stuck on the second level. I took my classes in 서울대학교, which is Seoul National University, one of the s.k.y universities, Seoul National University, Korea University, and Yonsei University. At Seoul National University, there are 7 levels, and I took the first level, which lasted 4 months. It is a very intense program. Classes are 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. I started these classes learning very minimal Korean from like words and sentences here and there to be able to converse and get my point across, basically. You're learning a lot in a short time, but you keep using the words every single day and you practice all the time, so it really sticks in your head. It's really easy to learn. I never knew learning could be so much fun. This is what I learned in 4 months. And you basically learn a lesson a day. So the lessons kind of look like this. It's an intro of what you're going to learn. So this is a conversation you'll be able to do by the end of the lesson. These are the words and things that you need to know. And then some explanations of things you need to learn. We have a practice exercise 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6.
We also had a practice book, and looking through this, it looks like I didn't use it very much. I think it was up to the teacher. I was being a naughty student and drawing in my book in class. The first 2 days, I think, 2 or 3 days, is spent on learning how to read and write Korean. And then, you're off and reading and writing Korean throughout the whole thing. This is the first lesson, and you will be able to read this. No big deal at all. 이것은 무엇입니까?
책상입니다. 저것은 무엇입니까? 저것은 이거입니다.
It was like,
What is this? What is that? That's a desk. That's a chair. Pretty easy.
in my Korean class we had 3 different teachers, so each day there was a different teacher coming in to teach. I adore my teachers. 장 선생님, 정 선생님, and 이 선생님. They always said, "Don't call me 생선님." I love my teachers. They taught me the basics of Korean. We would do 1 lesson every day, maybe up to Thursday, and Friday it was kind of like a review and testing and stuff. So one morning we would go in and listen to audio and we would record our answers in Korean. I think every day we did a skit, like after we learned the lesson we would put everything into practice. So if we learned how to order at a restaurant, we would, with one other classmate, we would sit down and pretend we were at a restaurant. So it was like role playing.
이분은 누구세요? 이분은 아버지세요.
Because we spent 4 hours a day studying and practicing Korean, we didn't really have to study outside of class. At least for me anyway, even though I'm terrible at studying and practicing and learning stuff, I didn't have to spend much time outside class studying. You know, I might go over my words a few times, but that was it. Seoul National University is an amazing school. I've probably seen about this much of this much. It's basically a small city in itself. The most I ever saw was like the walk to my class, the walk to the cafeteria, because sometimes I ate there with my classmates, and then a walk to the pond, like where all the cherry blossoms were and the ice cream was. Magical ice cream. I did a homestay with my friend.
괜찮아, 누나. 누나 괜찮아. 나.
알았어.
She fortunately lived really close to the school. I started out taking the bus there, which was like 5 minutes. But then, towards the end, I started just walking because it was really enjoyable and I got to see people in their daily morning routine. Usually it took me about 30 minutes or so to walk there. It was worth it because it was really nice. I was actually in the biggest class in level 1. I was was in the room at the end of the hall, and it was the funnest class there. The teacher even told us we were the funnest class and we got along better than any of the other classes did. We got along so well, we had so much fun, and I still even keep in contact with a lot of them. There were some students who didn't know any English. We couldn't really communicate at first, but slowly as we started learning Korean, we could say more and more to each other. I didn't really have many friends in any of the other classes. There were a few people I talked to, not very many. It was mostly just like, hey, how are you doing? Because my friends were friends with them, and so sometimes I was hanging out with them and we talked. There's one guy who was supposedly like a really famous singer from Malaysia, and my really good friend didn't tell me until we finished the level because it was supposed to be a big secret or something. It was really nice though when we talked. Like on my birthday, he got all of our friends to sing happy birthday to me in a bunch of different languages like English and Korean and Mandarin and Cantonese and something else. I had classmates from all over the place. I had a few classmates from China, one from Hong Kong, Malaysia, the Middle East, even Mongolia, and France, and England. They're everywhere. There were so many different people from different places. It was so amazing. Fortunately, most of my classmates spoke English. And we were such a good class. We did a lot together outside of classes. One time I went with my friends Hong Kong and Akiko to the 어학학생 공원, which is like the park nearby. And it was during the time when all the cherry blossoms were out and they were all fluttering to the ground. It was the most beautiful thing in the world! And sometimes we pop over to the cafeteria to have lunch. Or we would stop by and get the magic ice cream. A lot of times we used to go out and go to the noraebang as well. My favorite. Also set up a little outing for his class and my class. We all went to the COEX aquarium in the COEX mall. It was really cool. Like, it's the best aquarium I've ever been to. It's not like particularly big or anything, it's just, it has the coolest things in there. We used to have a lot of fun in that class. We used to take fake fighting photos. We used to like taking all the silly photos together. We knew how to entertain ourselves pretty well. And we used to always try to get some group photo shots in there, and like we always took a lot of photos together. We wanted to remember each other forever. At the end of the course, there was a kind of ceremony. All the classes in the levels would go to this auditorium. It was like a graduation for the 7th level, but they also had a lot of other things. Like there was a girl from China who played a traditional Chinese instrument, and my friend Yuta, he sang a song, and the famous Malaysian singer sang a song too. It was really fun. Like we all tried to get as many photos in that we could together outside after it finished. It was like a really happy day, but it was so sad because like I knew it was over. I finished the first level in 2008 and it took me 4 months. And I've been on level 2 for 5 years. Because I'm not in an intense Korean program. I can't study by myself. I can't tell you how useful knowing this much Korean has been for me. I've met so many cool people and been to so many places and been in so many really cool situations. I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't learned this much Korean. I like to use Korean to meet really cool people and really handsome, cool boys and talk to guys in bands.